Peace to everybody. This is about Valentino Dixon was sentencing reform in the justice system. Now, a year ago, I brought this story to everybody. Valentino Dixon is the cousin of one of my ex-friends. He was in prison for 27 years for a murder he did not commit. Somebody else did the crime, and of course, they put it on Valentino Dixon. But now, Valentino Dixon wants sentencing reform in the justice system. He is a free man with a voice, and Valentino Dixon is using it to talk about an issue that he says impacts human rights and civil rights. He wants reform in sentencing laws on state and federal levels. So Valentino Dixon is a free man. He has been for over a year now. He's doing great things with his life. he's he's doing a lot of drawings. He's doing a lot of touring. I'm sorry, I am sick. He's doing real great for himself, and he has a wonderful life he's living now after being in prison for 27 years. Dixon served 27 years in the New York State prison system for the murder of Valentino Jackson in 1991. The murder charge was overturned, but the gun charge remained. So Dixon did serve 27 years in the New York State prison system for the murder of Torreno Jackson in 1991. His murder charge was overturned, but his gun charge was not. It was still remained on his record. And this is the guy that Valentino Dixon got accused of something he did not do. And of course, Valentino Dixon was innocent the whole time, but you know how the court system is. They never believe an innocent person. They want to believe otherwise. And of course, this young man here, he was murdered along in 1991. Dixon, an artist, remains busy drawing, but he is adamant about the need for reform in the criminal justice system. So Dixon is an artist, and he has been nice. And, I saw his drawings on the news earlier, and they are wonderful. They're beautiful drawings that he's doing. He's touring all over the place with his drawings to show people what he can do. But he is adamant about the need for reform in the criminal justice system. And of course, the criminal justice system, they are always so far behind. And I'm sorry. And the criminal justice system is never fair to anybody. We have some of the worst sentencing laws in the world. Very harsh, excessive, extreme, and it violates the 8th Amendment to the Constitution against cruel and unusual punishment. This is why we have over 2 million people incarcerated, because they are not releasing anybody, Dixon said. And it is true, the criminal justice system is very harsh. It's excessive, extreme, and violates the 8th Amendment right to the Constitution. It's against cruel and unusual punishment as well. And he also says this is why we have over 2 million people incarcerated, because they are not releasing anybody, Dixon said. So the people who did not do anything wrong, the court system are not releasing them. They're just keeping them in prison for a very long time, and of course there's over 2 million people, and it's just sad that people are not getting released at all, because even when you don't do something wrong and they can't prove anything, it's just sad that they're not getting released. According to the Prison Policy Initiative, there are 2.3 million people in prisons across the United States of America. And it is true. It is true. 2.3 million people in prisons across the United States of America. And it is really sad. This is a numbers thing, and once you reduce the numbers, then you reduce the prison population. You rid yourself of mass incarceration, he said. Yeah, the numbers are really terrible for the prison systems. I mean, you cannot really do anything too much, but you could only try so hard to fight the prisons or the justice system, but then you end up losing. But then there are some people that can win these prison systems, but it's just so hard. I am sorry, I have been sick for a long while now. Retired New York State Judge Penny Wolfgang agrees that drug sentencing laws have been unfair. However, she said nothing is perfect. Our sentencing laws could always be improved. But to say they are too harsh or too long of a sentence for a particular crime, I think it's fair to look at the crime. So Penny Wolfgang, yes, I was in front of her a long time ago, and I'm not going to say what for because it's none of nobody's business. But she agrees that the drug sentencing laws have been unfair. Say, like, if you have a 2 ounce of marijuana, you're getting arrested for it, for 2 ounces. And she's also saying nothing is perfect. Our sentencing laws could always be improved. But to say they are too harsh or too long of a sentence for a particular crime, I think it's fair to look at the crime. And they should look at the crime. But instead, they just throw you right in prison and not give a daggone about you. They just let you rot there until they get to you when they get to you. She added, if a person is sentenced for a homicide, there is a victim, a person who is never going to be released or walk again on the face of the earth. So she did add it, if a person is sentenced for a homicide, there is a victim. But with Valentino Dixon, he never did anything wrong. He got accused of something he did not do. He was innocent. But yet they kept him in prison for 27 years until he finally got released last year. And of course here's Judge Penny Wolfgang, who I used to be in front of for a crime that was not my fault, but like I said, I'm not going to say what it is because it's none of nobody's business. That's my business. There have been advances in criminal reform and sentencing reform. Many drug offenses and nonviolent offenses have been changed. The age has been lowered so juveniles are not prosecuted as adults for some crimes. So the juveniles, they have been lowered. So this way they cannot be prosecuted as adults, but some states are going to still prosecute juveniles as adults, but New York State, no. Now they have lowered it. Many drug offenses and nonviolent offenses have been changed as well. As judges, I think we like to have discretion because there are cases where the law can be unfair without considering the individual, the crime itself, Wolfgang said. So as judges, I think we like to have discretion because there are cases where the law can be unfair, and of course it's always unfair because I mean, if you get sentenced for something you did not do, then you know what, they need to go back and look at the case itself to find out what went wrong with the trial and everything else, and why is this person getting accused of something he or she did not do, and why is the other person running free from it, from the crime for he or she has done. Added Dixon, a lot of the sentencing guidelines are harmful to minorities, and yes, they are harmful. It doesn't matter what color you are. It don't. It, it's unfair for all rainbow colors. So, and it's a lot of sentencing guidelines are harmful. So yes, sentencings are harmful. People are human beings, and everybody deserves the same care, compassion, and concern as the next class, race, or nationality, he said. Yes, and people are human, but does the court system care? No, they do not care at all. The court system don't care at all. They want to just throw the book at you and throw away the key after that. While it was Dixon's colored pencil drawings of golf courses helped get his story out that led to his release, his mission is sentencing reform. So Dixon has been doing his drawings in colored pencils and of golf courses, and it helped him get his story out that led to his release. His mission is sentencing reform, and as you can see here is Valentino Dixon himself with his beautiful drawing. It is beautiful, I have to admit it. This is one of the drawings that he has done. There is no other solution but to reduce the sentencing guidelines. We can talk about re-entry programs. We know treatment inside prison is horrible. Not only are you giving people too much time, but then they have to subject themselves to a lot of abuse, mental and physical abuse, by the guards inside the prison system. I have seen it firsthand, 27 years. Yeah, so Valentino Dixon has saw it firsthand. He was there for 27 years for a crime he did not commit. He says that we know treatment inside prisons is horrible. Not only are you giving people too much time, but then they have to subject themselves to a lot of abuse, mental and physical abuse, by the guards. And you know the guards are not very nice there. They do whatever they want to do. If somebody, let's say for example, if somebody paid a guard off to look the other way while that person is going to do something to somebody else, the guards just look away and pretend nothing happened. They don't. That's how much the guards are horrible. Dixon travels around the world with his artwork, and he is also working on video projects. So he is traveling around the world with his artwork, and he is also working on video projects as well. And like I said, his drawing that you have just seen, it is gorgeous, and that is what's helping him get his story out, because this is what he wants to do, is get the sentencing reform thing done. Because I mean, given too much time in prison, seriously, it's just so much that he is doing right now. Now, I don't know what kind of video projects he's working on, but whatever it is, I will make sure to bring it to you. Lamar Scott is now serving time for the murder of Torino Jackson. So Lamar Scott was the one that did the crime. So now he's serving time for the murder of Torino Jackson. So more likely he's going to be spending a whole lot of time in there for something that he did. And then of course he put it on Valentino Dixon for something he didn't do. So, and of course Lamar Scott is not going to go anywhere now for a crime he has done. So he's done for. And while Valentino Dixon is doing real good with his life, getting his story out, he's going to be working on his video projects. It is a wonderful thing that Valentino Dixon is doing. And you know what? I commend him for that. And he is a wonderful person. Leave your comments below. I am out.